You know the word psychology has to do with the mind. So, psychology of selling tells you this is the mind game of selling. You know, you see selling, there is selling and then there is selling. There's a traditional selling, you just put your products in the market and you sit down and wait for people to come to you. Is that the kind of selling we do? That's not what we do. We actually take our products and go to meet the people who likely would buy. You know, there's one thing I always tell people, and I say this. People want to buy property. They just don't know that they want to buy property. You can meet someone today, you're talking to the person, tell the person, oh, come and buy land or come and buy a house. I don't tell you, no, I'm not ready for it. But in actual fact, they need that thing that you have. But they don't know that they need it. So it is your job as the super salesman that you are to bring to their consciousness that they want to buy. People might buy for impulsive reasons, logic, emotions, you know, and then as a sales professional, you tap into the emotional driver of your prospects. That person you're speaking to, you have to get into that person's emotions, understand that emotions, and then once you do that, you're on your way to closing the sale. Now, if you understand the values that that person, the person you're speaking to has, automatically you'll be giving them, you know, custom-made products that will suit their need. You know, so how do? You sell to emotions. In order for you to win in this game, in this mind game, you sell to emotions. If you're not selling to emotion, you will not win. And I remember last week I gave different examples. Sometimes you see, I was at Uyingo Market within the past week. Do you know what I saw? I saw a man selling pure water, wearing suit, you know, his shirts, white shirts, a tie, black, you know, suit, blazers on the thing, trousers, shoe, everything, up to white socks. But he was selling pure water. Do you know what that did for the man? Other people are selling pure water, some put it down, some are walking about. But it's unique. You don't expect to see that kind of thing, right? It's unique. And once you see it, it tells you something. And the man was smiling. This is a man who is happy about what he's doing. I tell you, me, I bought 100 naira pure water. I just give my people away there. That's just me. Do you know the number of people? You know, imagine a go market. You know the thousands that troop into that market, either to buy or to sell. And they see this man, and the man is happy. That man is triggering an emotion inside you the minute you see him. Be like that man. There's one thing that Igbos are known for. What is that? Business, selling and buying. It comes to us naturally. I'm looking at us here, and from the age I can guess, which will be our average age. Okay, and for those who have lived in Lagos long enough, do you remember the era when you go to Yaba Market, they'll be tugging at your clothes? Do we remember that era? I know it still happens, they don't tug at people's clothes now, they don't pull your clothes now. But there was a time, once you go to Yaba Market, especially around that railway, they will draw your clothes, they draw your bag. At the end of the day, you end up buying from those people that are pulling at your clothes and your bags. You end up buying from them. Why is that so? Those guys are probably the best salesmen ever. Do you know what they call us hair boys? Who does not know the term of hair? We don't know what it is. But I'm not hearing the response. Do we know what Oscar hair is? Okay, Oscar hair boys are the thing when you come to the market. If I happens even at Balogun now, from the minute you set your feet down from your vehicle or from the bus at CMS, you see those boys are carrying can or they are warehouse man that shirts, they're telling you shirt, trouser, shoe, you know, they're following you as you're moving. It's, you know, they don't know what you came for. They don't No, but they're taking a chance on you.
Let me tell you how those boys make money. They are not the owners of the shops, right? But they'll take you. You tell them, once you tell them, I want shirts, I want shoes for children, I want female shoes, I want male shoes, I want canvas, I want whatever, just mention that thing you want. It is their knowledge of the market that is making them eat. Once you tell them what you want, they lead you directly to a shop. They already have an understanding with those people in those shops. When you finish purchasing, they get a token because they will just say, okay, anything for the boys. Madam, you go find out something. If you refuse, they'll let you go. But they'll go back to the shop later on, and the man will say, yes, you brought me business. Have this. Do you see how they make it? Without owning a shop, those guys are surviving and surviving well. Ways to use psychology in selling. We actually started this last week before we had to end. Reciprocity, giving back. Humans have an emotional need to give something back for something that they receive. It's more like returning a favor. You know, like I gave an example last week. I said with babies, a baby is crying from hunger. Once the mommy gives the baby that breast milk or formula, at the end of the day, once the baby is satisfied, what does that baby do? It will smile. And that smile makes your day. Do you see? The baby has given you something back for what you have given. Do you see that? Now, the same thing happens. I just gave you an instance of those Osahia boys. They follow you, they lead you to where you purchase. After once they lead you to where you purchase the item you need, you are also happy. Most times they say, oh, you go find out something, okay? Madam, just anything for the boys. You have the tendency to dip your hand in your pocket and bring out something and give them. Why? Because they gave you something, right? They made your journey to the market very easy. So you're giving back to them. Although there are people that no matter what, they will never give back. And I tell all of us today, please, let us learn to give back. That's just the way it goes. That's life. If you get something of value from a person, give back. Do you know what it does? It creates room for that person to do something else for you. In fact, even animals do it. You feed a dog, it will protect you. Abi? That's an animal for you. So, reciprocity is the first one. Commitment. This is the need to make a change in your life. The person may want to quit smoking or lose weight. Somebody has been trying to lose weight. And then maybe you sell all this, let's say, herbal supplement for losing belly fat, staying fit and all that. And the person is already thinking about losing weight. And you come across that person. What's the tendency for that person to do an action? If the person will do, what do you think the person will usually do as action once they come across you? If you sell supplements and you sell all those weight loss things, they just follow you and they buy. But how much they buy and what exactly they buy is dependent upon you. Remember, I said something. Whenever you're selling, the prospect, first of all, buys you before they buy your product. Now, I can be selling gym equipment, and maybe she is in need of, so she just wants, she's not, she's okay, but she just wants to be keeping fit. But she doesn't have time to go for jogging, right? She doesn't have time to go to the gym. She just needs something she can use in the house. There are options. I can decide to sell her just that one that that spring you can pull. I can decide to sell her the treadmill if she has space in her house to keep it. I can decide now to sell her the weight if she's interested in lifting weights. The options are there. It's for me now, immediately I realize that she needs something, I have to first of all, and I always tell you this, engage her in a conversation. Because she might come in to buy just that spring. That spring, she thinks is what she needs. But I am supposed to know better. This is my line of business. In engaging her, I'll tell her, okay, what do you ultimately want to achieve? Do you want to go in for a bodybuilding contest? Then I know that if she says yes, I know she needs more serious gym equipment, right? But this is just something, from when she's free. I begin to look at other options that I can give her. And then I can tell her that, oh, if you have space in your house, why don't you consider the treadmill? Where the options are not working, then I just let her buy that spring. It's her money, but it's me that's selling that will convince her of what she needs to do. The next thing is liking. The psychology about liking is when someone buys a product or service as a result of positive emotional response to the person selling it. I've basically talked about that before now. Liking. Do you know, many times, and I say this with all seriousness, females, and I say it in every class, females are better equipped to pull in a client. Am I right or am I wrong? Females, listen to me carefully. I didn't say females are better sellers. So females are better equipped to pull in people initially. Why? Let me give you an instance. You go to social media, you're scrolling through internet, maybe Instagram or Facebook. Once you see a DP of a female that looks good, there's a tendency for you to stop there. Take a closer look at her. You see a guy that looks good. Okay, this guy looks good, but you scroll past. Usually. Except saying a woman we know say maybe need husband or something, you understand? But it has to be something else for you to stop at a man's profile picture. People usually, even females, stop at females' profile pictures. More than men, oh. Do you know why? Nobody say make them go buy you now jealousy. Man, look whether a hair fine reach my own. You guys get it? Females, you see, that's why I tell you guys, understand this as a salesperson. Females are better equipped to attract people initially. That's step one. Step one. So, and that's what I tell people. You see in your Instagram pages, Facebook, TikTok, anywhere, make sure you have the best picture there. Make sure, whether you're male or female, you have your best picture on your profile pages. Because, you see, the eyes will eat first, Abi, before the mouth and other parts. Once people like what they see, the tendency for them to stop and look closer is there. Then they go there, now open your bio. Then your bio begins to tell about who you are. And if they like your picture, maybe someone already wants to buy land, sees your picture without knowing you sell land, though, opens the picture, and then it happens that you sell land. What do you think the next thing will be? They will ask you if you have land where they want it. That's why sometimes you wonder how somebody will ask you something online, and you're wondering how. Even your WhatsApp picture should be, if the picture is not fine, don't put am. Not put the one where we say, maybe now when you wake up from one nightmare, you can't take the picture, can't go put am for social media. Wait till happen and I wish you be. They will run. Put, whether male or female, make sure you have, and let me tell you the best kind of picture to have. A headshot. A headshot. And make it a beautiful headshot. I don't know if I'm making sense. Do you know why? When they look at your DP, your picture on Instagram, on Facebook, let them be able to see your facial features well. Let me tell you, somebody wants to buy from you if you're doing social media selling. The person cannot see your picture that maybe you stay there at the end of the room to take. He can't see you clearly. The tendency to connect with you is very low. But if he can see your facial features from that picture, and you sell the kind of thing he wants to buy or she wants to buy, tendency is high that they will reach out to you. So make sure, if on a picture where they on a DP, no fine, I'm gonna change it now. After this class, take a good look at them and change those pictures. Whether male, if na man you be, if you go rub powder, make the way the face rough, you know this way the face just be like them, use mortar, pound the thing. Go do makeup, put some filler there, make bro woman feel like naka. Give yourself a good picture, a good headshot, like passports, kind of. And then you put it there. They can enter and see other pictures, you understand, where you're posing, you know, women, you can take picture for Africa. All those ones go follow. But make sure the one that pulls them in is a very beautiful headshot. So, number 3, psychology of selling. People most likely will buy from you when they like you. And liking you, you know, it's not like, you don't have to know a person to like a person. You can see a person, once you look at that person, wow, this guy is fine though. This angel itself is too fine. Bad belly on us, yeah. So that's the way it goes. You start somewhere. Do you understand? You look at someone, you like the person opens their mouth, is another matter. You know, sometimes you see people, you like them. When they open their mouth, everything just evaporates. And it's not only what they say, mouth order follow, they chase people there. So you have to make sure you have, you see, I said something about chewing gum one time. I said, a lot of people chew gum, not because they like to chew gum. A lot of people have mouth odor. Yes. It's better for, if you date small, do the hand like, may you know, so if you say do like this, called, imagine what they happen to people. See, I beg. There are things that, little things we do that will position us very well. Because you never can tell. Let me tell you, there's nothing like, today I prepared that I'm going to sell. As a salesman, you're on duty 24/7. Somebody can call you in the night, especially those people abroad, maybe at the time when they get chance from work, and you're not your best, and you're answering anyhow. Hey, I'll come in the morning. Then go move on to the next person. Whoever answers him well is who he will buy from. You can come here thinking that, okay, only training, after training I go home. You step out, you enter a vehicle, and in that vehicle you meet someone that says, oh, I know someone who wants to buy property. I'm actually going to see the person at a certain bus stop. Maybe that bus stop is, let's say, 2 bus stops after your own. And he says, okay, you have a nice discussion with him, which led him to tell you that, give you that information. The person is like 2 bus stops from where you intend to stop. You think about it. Because you are not your best, you just thought, oh, let me just come only for training. You will not say, I see where the person will be. You say, let me go and change. No time. You have to go. And, you know, you are not looking at yourself. Am I going to make a good impression when I get there? Remember, and me, my own style, I always tell people, you don't have to look like you're going for a wedding, you know. You don't need to look like you're going for a wedding. But what you need to do is to make sure that you're decent. I don't know if you guys get me. Decent is not about expensive. Decent is about looking good. Authority. For some people, if they see you as an expert, they will not question whatever you say. They won't. Once people see you as an expert, do you know, I have some clients abroad that they've already given me like a standing order on certain kinds of property. If it shows up, I should let them know. They take my word for it because I say so. Build yourself to that level. How do you do that? You see, they say advertisement for toothpaste is endorsed by the Dental Association. Do you know all these actors, actresses, comedians, content creators? You associate them with certain products, right? That is it. Because you see that person as an authority in what they do. So when they tell you, buy this, and you see this person, you're saying to yourself, this person cannot be associated with something that is not good. There's a tendency for people to buy it. Sometimes you don't even like a particular piece of land that is offered by one real estate company. But because of their brand ambassador, who intends to be who people see as a very popular person, you will buy. Let me give you an instance. I'm trying to think of a celebrity now that no one can say negative things about. Good, Mr. Ibu. Have you guys seen who has seen Mr. Ibu in person here? The day I saw Mr. Ibu first, immediately the man walked into the room, everybody started laughing. Nobody, he hasn't said a word. Only, I'm telling you, Ibu walks in, if that man walks in here, all of us, he hasn't said nothing. People were laughing for close to 15 minutes. In the way, there's something about him. The way he will just come and stand like one mumu. First, you will start laughing first. By the time you laugh, and that one is going to, he now turns and looks at somebody like this. And he looks, and that looks at you like another, like a mumu again. Everybody will still be, whatever he does, that man, you can't hate him. Everything about him. Is there anybody here that does not like Mr. Ibu? He has that effect on people. If Ibu is a brand ambassador to any company, how do you think the sales of that company will be? Up there. There are people that will buy it because it is Ibu. He's not into real estate, but he can be a brand ambassador here, and people will buy. When you go to sell, you even mention it casually. Oh, Ibu is even an ambassador. The day we will launch one thing or the other, if you come, you will even see him live. People want that kind of opportunity. That's the kind of thing that authority does. Am I making sense so far? Yes. Social. Regarding peers, that's the key word in this one. If you have a group of friends, you guys have a tendency to want to do the same things or similar things at the same time. That tendency is there. So, that's what social tells you about. Your friend has a certain kind of shirt. And this is more common with women. Your friend has a certain kind of shirt. If you're very close and you like that person a lot, there's a tendency. Where did you buy it from? Oh, tell me now. Give me that your plug. I want to get it. And you will get it. Why? Because your friend has it. When, for instance, now we decide to do an Ashebi here. Maybe me, I decide to marry a third wife now, and I sell Ashebi to all of you. Why do they look me like that? I don't feel marry a third wife. So, it's I don't fit. So, okay, I share Ashebi now, and everybody now buys. Let us say, now, you see the 4 ladies there, let us say they are very close friends. Do you know that there's a tendency that on the day of the wedding, their own Ashebi will be similar styles? They might have something little to differentiate one person from the other, but in the general, you know that they probably have gone to the same tailor. They probably were there together, choosing styles together. You understand? And then they will put something to maybe differentiate it, but generally, they will most likely wear similar things. That's what social does. So if you happen, and I say this with all seriousness, whenever you look for you are with a prospect, find out if that person is a very social person or the kind of circle that person keeps. If you can meet their friends, do. But when meeting their friends, be careful. Sometimes you meet their friends and their friends will even make them not to buy from you. Have that at the back of your mind. It can backfire. But it's actually a good way to sell. If you're selling to a person, best to try and close the deal and then ask him about his friends or her about her friends. Because usually, friends would want to buy, because their friend has bought from you, there's a tendency that they too will want to also buy from you. That's what that peer pressure, the social peer, does. When prospects see praise from people like themselves, they will know you are a fit for their needs. they believe in you. Because their friend believed in you. And how do we actually even buy things? When you want to buy something that you have no idea about, what do? You first of all ask your friends if they know anybody. And because your friends say, use this person, you ask fewer questions. That sale is actually easier than when you're doing the first person's sale. Except you do something along the line to mess it up. Are we together? Scarcity. This is the story of Nigeria. Everything happens because there's this sense of it will soon go out of fashion in our heads. If Christmas is coming around, what is, a lot of companies have tendency to buy rice and groundnut oil. So people want to purchase things early enough so that they don't have to contend with higher prices or the absence of that thing, because companies have done bulk purchase and cleared out the rice in the market, and you have to wait for the next one, which you don't know when it will come. Just let us hear now that there's going to be increase in fuel price again. What will happen? Panic buying. People want to clear it up so that by the time the next one comes, they'll say, at least I have. It's not as if the one you have will last forever, but you say, at least you have bought some. That is what this is about. Fear. The buyer buys out of fear. So, how do you apply it in real estate? This is actually one of the best things to apply, and it works like magic. When you're talking to a prospect, you've given the prospect the features, the benefits, and everything. And the prospect is there wondering that, okay, I might buy, I might not buy. He's trying to take his time to decide. You've told all your stories. Just let the person know. Well, we have so number of plots left. This place is, selling fast at the moment. It may be in your best interest to be quick to purchase so that you don't miss out on this great opportunity. And this is best in the time of promos. When there's a promo on ground, let the person, the person is trying to take time to decide. And you don't put it as a condition to the person. You don't just throw it bomb. You have to come subtly with it. So there's something else, sir, something else, ma'am. I'd like to let you know, because it's my duty to let you know. This is a promo, and the promo only lasts for maybe February 1st to February 29. Within this period, you can get all of these things at a discounted price of 2 million, saving yourself possibly 1,500,000, anything. Do you understand? You highlight the benefits, what that promo is going to save the person. Highlight it so the person is thinking about it. Because after February 29, the price reverts to what it originally was. And you'll no longer be able to pay 2 million, but you now have to pay 3.5 or 4 million, as the case may be. So the promo is only for a limited time only. It gets their mind working. But if you just tell them, okay, buy now, the thing will soon come out, if it go finish, may it finish now. Do you understand? Remember, there's something. You can tell a person, go to hell. They actually hate you for it. And you can tell a person, go to hell. They say, oh, thank you very much for that advice. They go and buy a ticket and wait for the next bus to go. And they are going happily. How? It's about your delivery. How did you convey the message? That's what life is about. Unity. This one is talking about community selling. I'll give you an example. You can sell to a group of friends. Let us say cooperatives. You're talking to all of them at once. Maybe as we're here, I'm talking to all of you. Maybe everybody seated around here works with a certain company, and I'm here, and I got the audience. They gave me 5-10 minutes to speak, and I have to talk about Acropolis. I talk about the features, the benefits, everything about it. and then I have to actually leave room for questions. Mind you, this kind of selling is tricky. Do you know why it's tricky? You might think you have covered all your bases, and somebody from nowhere will just throw one kind of question that you will not be able to handle. Before you try this kind of selling, better be sure. Better be sure. Or if you're not sure, make sure you go along with somebody who can handle anything. Am I communicating? If you have to sell to a group and you have a little bit of doubt in yourself, please don't go alone. Don't you go alone. Sometimes, you know what helps? Maybe I might be talking, and let's say she and I were from the same, we came to talk to all of them together. At some point, and I'm getting fidgety. It might show, it might not show. But when I'm getting fidgety and I look at her, because we have practiced before we got there, she probably knows the points where I'm shaking a bit. There are things she could do. She could, by looking me in the eyes, give me confidence. I don't know if you guys get what I mean. I draw strength from her. We came here together. If I'm alone, I'll falter and create a blunder. But looking at her, she senses that I'm faltering, that I'm losing grip, I'm losing control. She will give me confidence. Another thing she could do, at some point, she could step in a bit, and just say something so that I can take a moment to gather myself and continue. Do you see? There are different ways. So this unity selling is beautiful, but only for those who know how. Only for the prepared. Don't try it if you're not prepared, because if you make a blunder in this sort of selling, it's hard to come back from it. But it is not impossible. And the rewards are quite large if you do. Because where other people are closing one at a time, you are closing in bulk. Even if at the end, maybe she and I have to share the number of sales. Okay, out of, let's say, 10 sales, let's share, we take 5. I take 5, you take 5. Do you understand? But that's a lot all the same. So if you have opportunities to do these things, do them. But please take someone with know-how with you when you're going. Good. Example here. An ad may target fans of a particular sports team. Another could be a gym advertising its group classes as not just exercise but social gatherings. But really, that's what gyms are about, right? You're going there to do exercise. But, a lot of people who could have gone to gyms or who started it drop because they are unable to mix well. But if you own a gym, you invite and people come to your gym and they are not able to mix well. Whenever maybe you notice that in a certain class, let's say Madam here comes to class, she does her gym, does everything, but she doesn't really interact with anyone. She leaves. The next time again she comes, she does everything, she doesn't interact, she leaves. It should be up to me, the instructor, or people who work with me, to actually identify people and, start a chit chat. There are ways you can do something. You can make people palace without them realizing that you're actually bringing them together. I could now come and start talking with her possibly after class, and then talking to her, he maybe has something to say to me, and now involve him in the conversation. After a little while, we are talking, 3 of us. I now move away to attend to her. Meanwhile, they are both now communicating. Now, instead of her dropping and not resuming in class next week, because she has now communicated with someone, she will come to class next week. She will look out to see him and at least say hi. She now knows someone there. And from there, the circle expands to other members of the gym. Do you see how it works? So, we have a long way to go, but we're getting there. There's a lot to being a salesman. It's not just, I have this land. Will you buy? You know, buy. There's a lot more to it. Psychology of selling. It's in here. It's in here. This is where the actual sale happens. 90% of the sales transaction happens in your head. The rest of it, the remaining 10% is merely execution. But if you've played out all scenarios in your head, you're not likely to have a wrong move. Compliments. People are quite involved in their lives and very rarely take the time to compliment someone else. Compliment your buyer. I'll tell you something. Flattery, especially with women, will get you the things you don't expect. A woman can be very hard, very difficult. Just compliment her. She may have had a fight with her husband or boyfriend. She's on the road. She had maybe somebody hit her from behind. Her mood is bad in the morning. By afternoon, because of that accident, it's worse. She probably gets to place of work and they missed a deadline or something. It's in a, her mood is nasty. And then you're coming to sell something to her. You don't know what has happened to her all day. You get in there. First of all, the way she will receive you is hard. Or she will just, yes, come in, because she's just looking at you. But all those pent-up negative emotions are still there. And I come in. Wow, your glasses, I love them. Suits you. It's very beautiful. You see, but you have to gauge a person's mood. And don't make your compliments to stretch for long. Give a short one. See how the person takes it. Then you decide whether you continue on it or not. I don't know if you guys follow me. I hope you're following all I'm saying. You have to start a little. Start a little and then you continue to, pour it on. Once the person begins to lap it up, begin to pour it on. Once I say that, and maybe she smiles a little, you never can tell. Maybe since she has the glasses, people compliment her about other things, but nobody has said anything about the glasses. You don't know. Do you get what I mean? You don't know, and you might be the first person. And, the glass might really be something special to you. Somebody compliments it, you tend to be in a better mood from, the way you were. And once you begin, you just, before you know what's happening, she says, oh, come in, sit down, sit down. People, you enter the office, they don't ask you to sit down. But once you're saying something they like, they not tell you, sit down, sit down. You see that barrier is being broken. You now sit down. And gradually, you do the compliment, you now move to your business. You talk about your business. Once remember I said, selling happens a lot here. As I'm selling to her, I'm watching her countenance. The minute I see her sign, maybe she now, and she rests. I know she's getting tired. I have to switch to something else to get her interested all over again. Or she just yawned now. I say something and she yawned. That yawn might be, oh, I don't hear this thing tired. But she won't, she'll be polite and not tell you. It tells you, switch. There are little signs when you're speaking to a person that tells you, you're reading the mood. And you have to, because you cannot read the mood, you can't know what to do. You're just, imagine that I'm rambling, still talking the same thing. Next thing you know, anytime she can cut me short, she'll tell me, she's busy now, let's see next time. But if I'm conscious about my selling, and I get into her psyche, so the minute she begins to get bored, I switch and talk about another aspect. Or bring it home. And this bringing it home means that all that thing I've been saying, she's heard it, she's understood. Because she can hear me. At this point, and I say, what do you think? Get them talking. Let them give you their opinion too. Then she tells you. And what she says will tell me whether she's interested in what I'm saying or not. And while you're doing all these things, remember, your prospects don't have time. Finish your business. Then when you want to go, let them be the ones to tell you, oh yeah, sit down now. Oh, I've been here alone. I beg, I like us, we're talking. Let's continue. She might say, I still have like 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, Because you're the person who's brought some positivity to her all day. She wants to keep that positivity. She wants to draw from your positive energy. To give them that chance. Do you understand? So I sit down and we don't chit-chat. And in the course of that sitting down, I also probe. There are further probing questions I'll just ask to know a little more about her. So that, and all those questions I'm asking We might be talking about social things. No, I won't mention business. We've already talked the business part and we're done there. But other questions I'm asking is helping me to arrange the thing very well to package before I'll ask for the sale. And when the going is good, take opportunity to always ask for the sale. So you've liked everything we've talked about so far. So are you going to buy? When will you like to make payment? How normally do you make payment for this for land? Do you prefer transfers or you want to do a check? It's your probing questions that will now cause her to tell you how she would like to make payments. At any point, if you get lost, let me know, please. Staying relevant, top of mind. Again, it still flows. You're already discussing with someone. Everything you're saying must be on point. Top of mind. What does top of mind mean? Let me ask us. Anybody? Top of mind. This one will be Latino. What's top of mind? It's easy enough. He said? Yes. To remain top of mind, just as he says, top of mind is to be on top of a person's mind. The mind there is like a stack of things to do. You need to be on the top. Do you understand? In every person's mind, all our minds, there are so many things from the minute you wake up. There are so many things you have to do. So what is top of mind is what's important to you. You have to create importance around what you do. You have to make your prospects see what you have as important. And how do you do that? You let them see how whatever action or thing you're doing is important to them. And how do you do that? It's simple. Let them know the importance. It will be great for you to own a property so that you move from just being somebody who passed through Lagos to somebody who owns a piece of Lagos. Do you know, it makes sense. There are people who have lived in Lagos most of their working lives and they had to return to their places, and yet they did not own a plot of land in Lagos. Forget all the whole nonsense about they are taking land back. How can you actually stay in a place for maybe 2 to 5 years or more and you don't own a land there? What's the proof that you passed by that place? What's the proof that you were ever there? Those are the things. You leave a mark. You make an impression. Bring these things top of mind to your prospects and you speak to them. All these things I'm saying to you guys, a lot of us, we don't do them. You think selling is about you just get and you sit down, you're just rambling. No. You see, these things I'm talking about here are the things that will definitely make a prospect to remember you. They will remember you. Because once you do these things and you make them buy this, I can assure you that usually when they want to buy the next property, because they've had a good experience with you first time, there's a tendency to call you. That's what leads to repeat sales and even referrals. This one is easy enough, Abi. Do I need to explain this? Do I need to explain this one? Okay, no answer means no.
Yes, explain it.
That's good. Build a relationship. We like to build relationships. No matter what we're doing, we'd rather deal with someone we have a positive connection with, and it's no different in sales. It is even more important in sales. Do you see, as we're here in this class, let me ask a question. Since, for those of us that have been coming here more than once, aside from the people you knew before you started coming here, who has connected with another person? Somebody you met from this class. Madam has. Who else? Who has connected with another person you met in these classes? None. That tells me you guys are not serious salesmen. A salesman builds relationships. Know people. Now your work with that. Know people. See, nobody tells you that you must go to lunch with that person. But the fact that you meet somebody somewhere, know people. See me, Angelo. I can't go somewhere and not meet people. I'll definitely find someone new to speak to. Make it a point today. Anywhere you enter, find a person to talk to. It's good to be reserved, though. It's good to respect yourself. Me, I don't respect myself. I tell you now. Una never know me. I'll be salesman. I know if I dey respect myself, how I want to talk to people now? Who will not buy my? You see, you dey do reserve that be. You go assess person, look at. If you like self, wear I go still interact with you. You never can tell. I told you guys a story of how a shoe shiner at AIG Zone 2, Alagbon. It's not Alagbon, Onikon. How a shoe shiner took us in to go and see a deputy inspector general of police that we have been going for weeks. Official routes, nothing, they bounce us. Why did the man take us in? We built a relationship with him. How will they build the relationship? Me and my friend, well, you know, we don't wait time. We say, we'll go strategize. Or God bless you, we'll stop till they come. This thing no go work. This thing no go work where we were there to see this man no go work. We were out there. So, okay, because, you know, they put signs, no loitering. So if you're idle, you can't be standing around the area. So, okay, this Baba, they shine shoe. At least most sit down there, man, they shine shoe. Nobody say we need our shoes shine. We were strategizing in front of the man. The man was listening to everything we were saying. That old Baba, what made him help us? Somebody was carrying soft drink and snacks. And we told him, you know, as I collect, my friend collect. He said, yeah, Baba, what do you want? The man said, no need. I said, Baba, see. Oh yeah, I told him, give Baba what you have given us. Do you know, it's not the act that we offered him. People probably offer him things. But that we offered him the same thing we were also having. That's what touched that man. We didn't know it. You know, it wasn't intentional. And because he lied, now said, this is the one I buy for me. People, they feel say, man, go take, because there's somebody selling kunu and zobo around. We can take drinks of maybe 500, 700. They will now buy him kunu 100 naira in a reused Coke bottle. Do you understand? But the man was shocked that exactly what we were taking is what we offered him. That's what made him, you know, something triggered. I'm like, who I want to see? When I told him, he now said, yeah, he finished. Come. He didn't even tell us he was taking us to go and see the man. He did not tell us so. He just said, come. We said, oh yeah, no, we'll follow him now. We followed the man. He took us inside. The people are in at the gate. There are people waiting. You go fill form. Baba in past. They know, you know, what did they do? You know, they were aggressive to people. Baba got there. They just gave him space. Baba passed, held my hand. I held my friend. They didn't even look at us. They just shifted. We passed and then they blocked again and continued being aggressive to people. Influence of that old shriveled man. I want you guys to imagine the kind of person that took us in. He entered all these places we could not get to. Direct. Even the DIG was in a meeting. He took us into his office. The man now left the people at his desk, came to the couch in his office and sat with us. Baba just told him that we need to bring a matter to him and left. That's all. Nothing. Relationships. Build it. Nurture it. Keep it. Anybody where you meet once, try. Even if you don't feel remember faces, try. Maintain relationships. Build them. I already have said it to everyone. I'm accessible anytime, any day. If you have challenges in sales, you can reach out to me for any reason. Some people actually have reached out to me. I'm guiding them in certain things. But if you have challenges, reach out. Me, I'm very accessible. When I see as I did like this, I did very easy, I cheap. But because we are aloof, you want to make yourself a reserve seller. Now, so you don't know the opportunities you're passing by. You're passing up on opportunities by not meeting people. Make that effort. You go to church. After church, no just take off. Even at least the person sitting next to you, find a casual thing to just say to the person, so that next time people see, there's a reason to say hi. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Give yourself a reason to say hi to somebody. And I don't mean say make women they only gather with women, or men only to men. It doesn't matter the gender of the person. It's what you have in mind. You have in mind to build relationships. I tell you, you never can tell the relationship that will take you to where you want to be. You never can tell. Anything can happen. This world has shown that to us multiple, countless times over. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't speak well on top of that one. 11, change the way they see their problems. If you sit down with a prospect and they put challenges in front of you, change something about how they see that problem. It's in your power to do. And what's your tool to do that? Words. When I say this English language, what they speak, there is no new word that will be said to you in English language. All the words that will be said in English language, you already know. It is merely the combination of words and the mood with which it is said that makes a difference. Like since I've started talking, everything I'm saying here, you all know. But what am I doing? Because of the combination of words I'm using and the mood I'm using, is bringing to fore your consciousness that, oh yes, this thing that this parrot called Angelo is talking is actually something that is true. It's something that I should be doing. Something I've been passing up on. Change the way they see challenges. Once you change the way they see it, do you know the way you come across? Yes, you've solved a challenge for them. And they have a tendency to open up more to you. And like I said, it's in that chit chat you're having with your prospect that you find out the person's leanings. So that when they want to buy a property and you have to introduce something to them, you're introducing the proper thing that will suit their needs. Am I making sense? It's all in your psyche. And how do you do that? Your brain must be able to multitask. At least that one everybody can do. You can be talking to a person, you're thinking about the matter. As the person is speaking to you. And I always say something to people. Always have pen and paper ready. Whenever you go anywhere. How many of us have pen and paper today? Good, but some people still don't have. It's always good whenever you're talking, like we're in class like this. Despite what you see on the slide, despite what I say, there are certain things as I'm speaking, some keywords that will appeal to you, that if you write them down and you look at them later, it will bring back the flood of all the things I'm talking about. That's the essence of having pen and paper every time. So if you're sitting with a prospect, as he's telling you the challenges he's had with acquiring land and all his fears about acquiring land and his limitations about acquiring land, you're taking note of them one by one. So that when you're answering, giving him a response, you're responding to each and every concern he has. Being a great salesman is not about somebody, they tell you, say, sell ice to the Eskimo, all that crap. Yes, you can sell ice to Eskimo, but how do you do it? You need to be in the psyche of the Eskimo before you can sell that ice to him. Ice is all around him. Besides, that Eskimo, maybe you don't jazz him before you reach there, because now the thing where they all around them, and he's buying ice from you. There are some phrases you hear. Well, they can never go that side. When we later on in the course of our journey, I'll go deeper into all of these things. Good. See this. As a marketing and salesperson, what do you think? You think that the main problem is that cold emails are not getting responses? You know, basically, like you send people emails. Maybe have emails of, let's say, everybody in this class and they are prospects. And I send emails to everyone. And I look at that email and I don't get a response back from anybody. I might think that the problem is my email. Now, they say, when you now dig deep, and then you look thoroughly at it, you realize that the main problem is that the emails have poor deliverability. And when they do get through, the subject lines aren't drawing people's attention. And I tried all of you. I might have your emails and I send all of you an email. And I don't get a feedback from anybody. What is the challenge? To me, I might look at it. Email is not working. It's not a good way to sell. But how did I write my email? What's the content of my email? The same way you can come and stand in front of people or you meet prospects. Anytime you talk to somebody about buying land, they don't buy. Every time you talk to them about buying land, they don't buy. And you're saying to you're not looking at it. No, this selling is not my calling. These people that I'm talking to, maybe winch, they follow them from the village come. That's why they say no, they walk. Now you, they follow. And not be from village. Now you, they follow yourself. You, they follow yourself. But I'm not saying, now we they winch out past village people. In fact, devil don't they relax nowadays. Nobody say they walk of the devil. They'll say village people. But if you really look at it, the thing that you sent to people, when you stay, you want to convince me to buy land, what do you say to me? How do you say it to me? Remember I said something earlier. You can tell a person to go to hell and the person will fight you. You can also tell a person go to hell and the person will happily be skipping along the road to hell. How was it said? What did you say? Two things. What are the two things I mentioned? It's about the what? Don't leave me there this class. Oh. Are you here? What and how? Thank you very much, sir. That's what it's about. What did you say? And how did you say it? Less is more. Do you know, there's this thing, this particular less is more. I've always known this from when I was in secondary school. Yeah, that's when I've known that less is more. Do you know, there's this thing when I was in secondary school, girls, on maybe like Valentine now that's coming around the corner. At that point, you're trying to impress girls. Guys try to impress girls. And what do? They will buy big cards, Valentine cards. You know, but I've always not liked buying cards from the stores. Do you know why? The picture on it might be perfect for what I want, but the words written on it, sometimes they are direct, maybe when I don't want to be direct. Sometimes they are too personal, and I don't want to be personal. So I've always had this tendency to create my own Valentine cards when I was in secondary school. So what did I come up with eventually? One day we attended an art class. I was a science student, but I attended art class, and they taught them how to make cards. And the idea came to me because the teacher said something. I still remember it to this day. That when you do your own cards, you put your own words, not another person's words. Because you might be wanting to impress a girl. The kind of words you want to use to impress her are not what is written on the card, even though the card is fine. I don't know if you guys follow me. So I now decided, anytime it's Valentine, I'll just go and buy cardboard quietly. And I will not do those normal big cards. I'll do those small ones. Cut the thing, small. The cards will now have plenty cards. I'll now also get a paper and do small envelopes for the cards. And when I do it, maybe I'll do different designs on the cards. So whenever I want to give a card to a particular girl, based on my encounter with the girl and my interaction with her, I'll write a few lines. Maybe I'll just write, just thinking of you. Only. Do you understand what I mean? And then I'll give her the card. And those my cards, I usually know they sign them because the truth be say, I they give many girls. So I know they sign my name. But once you receive the card, you go know who you're from. Because the message in it is short, simple, personalized. And I found out that people appreciate it, females appreciate it better. I got another taste of it, again with females. When later on, in the office, we wanted to appreciate our boss. At that particular year, she was a woman. We wanted to say thank you to her. And another group also wanted to say thank you. Now, I told my team, I said my own people, because I wasn't the leader of the team then, you know, that, oh, maybe we should get something personal for her since we want to say thank you. And she's female. And she's a very, you know, female way they like, she know what's up, she they dress, do everything well. So we ended up agreeing to buy her necklace. Do you know, my team members, all of us, including me, went to look for a very gigantic necklace with gigantic earring to buy. Then the other sales team, they also wanted to say thank you to her, got her small, if you see the necklace, it's just light chain with a beautiful pendant on it. And on it with her name. Small. Then the earring too, tiny. You know what I noticed over time? She never wore our own to office one day. But those people own it, they wear them steady. Do you understand? Because guess what? After the delivery of it, the day we now delivered everything to her, even her, she gushed with excitement that we even thought to buy her something. But she showed more excitement over that. You see that necklace that they got her? The excitement she had. And guess what? Their own cheap. It's cheap. But our own now, we find authentic gold. If you see the way they talk, white gold. Don't even know me. I don't know anything about all these fashion things more. White gold, this one, that one. If you see the places where we'll go find this gold before we go buy that gigantic thing. The woman know where and come office. Not, she appreciated it too. I'm sure she knows the value of it. But what she wears regularly was those people's pendants. As simple as it was. So, that is what I'm trying to emphasize. Less is more with people. Of course, there are certain people in life, if they think no big, you know they work. But I can tell you, most people in this earth, rather than have a very big ceremony, they'd rather have a small one with a few people. Rather than have the gigantic car, they just want one that's elegant. Rather than have, if you want to take them out, rather than have, you know, that scenario where everything grandiose, you know, they rather have something simple and nice. You know, but now women hair, now they will not understand because if let's say women now, the way the bigger the hair, the better. Sometimes some kind of hair, you will wonder how they want pack and sleep for night. When I go get separate chair, come put the neck on top chair. You don't feel like that with some kind of hairstyle where you see you. Well, that was my women problem from time. You know, and again, you know, it works with male and female. Less is more. Is there anybody who still doubts that? If you have a different opinion, I'd like to hear. If you think people enjoy the huge, gigantic thing, and it goes for us when we're selling. When you're selling, arrange your words to speak fewer words, but convey all your message. Same thing if you're on social media. If you do, you know, when you want to talk about, let us say, the Acropolis, you are talking about the location, you're talking about the features, the benefits. You now do a video that's, let's say, 20 minutes or 10 minutes. Where will social media keep it? Where will Instagram, for instance, place it? No, where would they, first of all, where they go place them? They go place them on Instagram TV, abi? For long, long things. If you want to watch documentary, like there you go. That's one. But even Instagram will give you advice. Let your videos be short, less than a minute, so that they can put it on your status. You can put it on your status. You can put it in Reels. You can put it in where else? Stories. I don't know this one. Wait, when they go social media. It's one I'm going to do like say, when they decide for that one again. Hey, so that's even the social media will advise you. And then when it gets to the people that view it, how many people go to Instagram TV to view videos? It's limited. But Reels, once your video is short enough to be a reel, you know that you can use 30 seconds to give all the features of an estate. And within that 30 seconds, you have a video. That tells you, people will, even some people are scrolling past. Once they see it, they like the way you look. Because I don't tell on Amon always they look good. You understand? Once people like, if your reel comes up, and you as a person, you're likable, they like what they see, there is a tendency they will stay. And people stay on the average 30 seconds to 1 minute to watch a video. So if your video is short, the tendency is they will watch all of it. But if they don't watch and reach like 20 minutes, maybe 10 seconds or 5 seconds, they will stay. But if they look at it, it remain like 12 minutes. Hey! They don't scroll past them. Say, who be this? Waiting happen here. It doesn't matter the information you have in it. People will scroll past it if it's long. So, less is okay, there's something here. Analysis, paralysis. You see, highlighted, colored, underlined. Analysis, paralysis. When you give people too much to make decisions go hard. If someone tells you, I want options in land, give them 2 or 3, not more. 2 or 3. Do you understand? So that what is not here is in this one. And possibly a third one. But when you begin to load them, you won't show they say you sabi about the Ekpeabi. You give them everything from Igbola to Ketu to Igboye to Iloti and all that. By the time when you land all of them, the person look at, hey, information overload. Wait till it is. He go just scroll past you. Go meet person wey own few. So I beg for my sanity. So I want my man. That's what they will do. They will just leave you. You have more. You have beautiful things in there. But you gave them too many. Excess. You understand? Excess. Just like when somebody will complain, you're not giving me enough attention. You say, hey, you need attention. I still wake up. Hey, Adeyel. You come out and say, the person open door, you don't first run from backyard, go talk. Hey, Adeyel. Wait till happen. See. Leave some mystery. The learning experience is powerful though. Someone telling you how to do something or figuring out how to do it for yourself, which one is better? You want someone to tell you how to do it or you want to figure it out for yourself? Which do you want? Figure it out. That leaves some mystery. Do you understand? If you spell it out completely, it's harder. Again, this example is just everywhere. You know, there's this thing they used to say before. Man, no go there, Joe. Man, go there. On I want man go there. Don't accept me. See, when you want to leave some mystery, you see that, like I'll come. Let me see. Okay, let me say this one. Now, let's say you're trying to get somebody, or somebody is after you. You want that person to come after you. The person is coming after you, especially if you're a lady. You want him to see everything at once. Or you want to leave some mystery? So that he can come back for something. But you see, it always pays to leave mystery. Because when you talk about a property, the mystery you leave is, let me tell you, when it comes to selling real estate, how do you leave a mystery with your clients? You tell them about some of the features. But as you're talking about some of the features, there are certain things you say, oh, do you understand? You will appreciate this better if you come for an inspection. Do you see how you leave mystery in real estate? People don't talk about the one of real life now. Then now you see how to leave mystery in real estate. Talk about some of the features and tell them you get a real feel. Then when you stand on this land, the ambience, the environment is indescribable. It's best you feel it for yourself. But the way you deliver, remember, is about the what and the. Your delivery is what also brings and builds the mystery. If you deliver it properly, they look forward to going there, Abi. Because you describe the place like, this na paradise. If you reach here, you no one go another land again. And make sure that the things you're building up are actually there. You know, you can embellish a thing. I'm not telling you to lie about a thing. Embellish. Embellish means to spice it up. And when the mood is there, if you want to embellish a thing, give the person a nice description. Do you know that, for instance, I'll tell you about Acropolis now. If you get to Acropolis, especially if you go there in the morning, before the sun comes up, the way everything looks green all around it, the calmness, the trees in the environment will give you a certain cool feeling. Who has been to Acropolis? Good. If at any point that I'm saying things, if I say anything that is not true, I beg Mona stop me. Mona no mind say I be kosher. Me and the talk as it be. Mona stop me. Say Angelo, you don't talk rubbish. Or this your basket mouth too leak. Tell me. Do you understand? If you go in the morning, the environment looks cool. You will even see mist in the air. Do you know why you see those mists? Because they are trees. There is some like vapor if you go in the morning. Anywhere, you see, like. You see this Hamatan, like if you look out this way, any of the windows, look at any of the windows. You see beyond the trees and the buildings, you see that thing there, that's Hamatan haze. This one is haze. It's different from mist. But mist is those droplets of water that trees in an environment creates. Especially if you go to a village. I don't know whether some people here don't get village, but if you get village, don't the village, you go down here. When you wake up in the morning, you know, you love the village in the morning. What I'm describing to you is what you find in any village with trees. That's how, if you go to Acropolis in the morning, that's how it is. Because there are trees. Tell the person, all those things I've talked about are things you get from clean, fresh air. Not this one. This one is Hamatan haze. Now dust, not in the air like this. As a result of Hamatan, now dust will hang, suspended. But if you go to where there are trees, even in your house in Lagos, if there are trees around you, in the morning when you step out, you will like the environment. It's natural. It feels good. You see all these things, describe them. The way you describe it, if you describe it like you talk about it the way I talk about it, the person, and you're telling the person, come and see for yourself. The person will look forward to coming to see. Waiting to remain and make him make time. And because you've described something that's nice to see, the person most likely will make time. And I always tell you something, when you take a person for inspection, your deal is almost sealed. Almost. Waiting remain now. Some more. Because when the person is there, especially if it's someone who you've discussed with, had chats with, you know what that person leans to. You're most likely going to deliver perfectly to that person. Anchoring. present a higher price option first before you present other options that seem more reasonable and affordable in comparison. Can somebody give me an example how to do this? So that that person most likely will, this will influence the customer to choose a higher price option than they might have otherwise considered. Can someone tell me how to do it? Does anyone know how? Give me an example of this kind of scenario. Anyone? Okay, I'll help you guys out. Okay.
For example, someone asks you for maybe a 2-bedroom apartment, and you have one that's going for like 52, 55 million. You have another that is going for 24, 25 million naira. And the one of 52 million naira has better qualities than the cheaper one. So you present the higher one first, even the features the bigger one carries. Then you can now present the lower one, knowing fully well that it has lesser qualities than the bigger one. So he has no option but to go for the better one.
Perfect. That's all I was asking. Anchoring is a trick in sales. Okay, let me not say trick, but trick implies that it's something on the hand. But not trick, sir. But what we will call it, we will say, is a sales tactic. You want to sell the higher price products, right? How do you sell the higher price products? How do you sell the higher price products? You see, like you can go to Acropolis, like just like she said. You have 2 buildings you want to sell. This is one building. This is a second building. You want to sell them. They are both, let us say, 2-bedroom bungalows each. This is a 2-bedroom bungalow. This is a 2-bedroom bungalow. This one is worth 50 million. This one is worth 20 million. Or let's say 30 million. 50 million, 30 million. Why is this one 50 million? Why is this one 30 million? When you bring a client to come and see, or you want to present the two to a client, what do? You start with this. This is our 2-bedroom. It's a bungalow. The tiles, superb quality tiles, lovely finishing. POP interiors, beautifully painted walls with POP and screening. Has a swimming pool, jacuzzi in the master bedroom. Has a waiting room. Still a 2-bedroom, right? Then that is why this one is going for 52 million or 50 million. However, sir, if you think that the premium is too much for you, we have another alternative. Here is another 2-bedroom bungalow. This 2-bedroom bungalow, decent finishing. Remember here we said superior quality finishing. Decent finishing will last as long as that one will last. This one has no waiting room. This one has no swimming pool. But you don't put it that way. You just tell him the few qualities. This one has less quality, right? Or the way you present it. Remember how I presented this. 2-bedroom bungalow, waiting room, exquisite jacuzzi in the master bedroom, swimming pool, POP finishing, the walls are screeded, lovely house, everything. The quality of the tiles is super imported, best quality you can find in the market. But here, sir, we also have a 2-bedroom bungalow. Decent finishing, spacious like the other one, quality finishing that will last. We'll guarantee you that the materials used to build this will last at least 100 years. Everything about it is so fine. However, this is 30 million. He needs not ask, why is that one 50 million and this one 30 million? Because you've explained the differences. You not let him know. This one is 50 million, this one is 30 million. Why? Swimming pool here, no swimming pool. POP finishing, this one probably PVC boards like this. This one has screening and everything. This one also has screening because you cannot remove all qualities. You must have, this one must have some qualities with this. The tiles, they are both quality tiles, but however, this one is imported tiles. These ones are locally made tiles. Do you see? You're giving them a difference between this and this. And when you put all these things, and you know, after you've put all the qualities, separated them, you now say to him that, you know, the madam and children will love the swimming pool. Even you, on very hot days, you just sit down, you lounge, you pour a glass of wine, and you sit by the pool. Say things that will make the mind go on a journey. He begins to imagine. Even though with some people, when you are talking about some of these things, their mind goes somewhere else. But yes, but their mind will still go on a journey. And they begin to see possibilities because of the options available here. At the end of the day, if that person has 50 million, what do you think? And he has option to take it at this or this. Which one do you think he will take? Which one? 50 million. Except he probably is short for cash. There is constraint there. Or for some reasons he can't do this. He has some pressing things he needs money to do. Then some of them will ask you, can you defer payment here a little bit for me? Because you know we hear these kind of things now, then you go still won't go this side. It would be nice to lounge by the pool now. Maybe you say for your own house. Suppose enjoy small now. You know, these are things that will make a person buy. That's what anchoring is. So she described it beautifully. Does it make sense now to us? In conclusion, so therefore, if not mathematics, psychology is a part of every decision that we make in life. Now, if your job is to convince people, which incidentally is all our jobs there, because if you're in this class, you're a salesperson. Your job is to convince people. You're trying to do naturally as a salesperson, then you understand how people make their decision. You must understand it. You see these whole qualities we've treated. Once you understand them, you'll be better able to manage people. You know exactly, see there are 14 of them. Those are psychological triggers. Trigger anyone you like. It's within your power. Remember, as a salesperson, your client speaks more than you, but you are in charge of the conversation. You have to be in charge of the conversation. You have no choice but to be in charge of it. And you have to push them to the direction you want. You know? And then that way, it means that you're earning more sales and growing revenue. We may like to think that we are purely rational beings. Nah, lie. We might make all the decisions. Now, yes, we take rational decisions. Nah, lie. We are all emotional beings. Even the hardest of human beings are still emotional beings. Why is it that parents do not judge their own children with the same standard they judge other kids? I don't know if you guys understand me. If not your own kids, you give them, room to misbehave. But other people's children, you tell them, mama, that boy na so every time. You know something train pikin, but wait till your own pikin they do what so. That's it. The same way, all the females here complain about other men outside, but their own guys for the house now. Waiting they show you now shaggy plus banza on top. You then endure and you come outside a para for people. Do you understand? We are all emotional beings. And the emotion don't build. Look, let me tell you. And at the end of it, I'll say something to you. Other people won't say these things, me I say. Tap into people's emotions. Sometimes you're talking to a client wants to chat up with you personally. The conversation goes personal. Don't shy away. Are you with me? Don't shy away. As a salesperson, you come across the good, the bad, and the ugly. Every day, every time. It's part of your terrain. If you are not able to cope with it, then you are not meant to be a sales, or you can't be a salesperson. See, everybody can sell, I tell you this. You see all of us in these rooms? It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your connections. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter what you've known. It doesn't matter who you know. You can be anything you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. And as a salesperson, you are in the forefront. If people take chats from business, sometimes you are chatting business with people, they don't do dull. Go a little bit personal. Though. Don't go deep, but go a little bit personal. You see that personal side? Play with them, chat with them. Talk, not they kill anybody. Talk, not they kill anybody. But bring the person's attention back, and then you switch back to business again. You must be good at doing that. You must be able to hold a person's attention. So, what I say to you is, if you're chatting with a client, sometimes some clients will now deliberately say some nasty things. How you parry it is about you. You're the one sitting in that driver's seat. I'm talking especially to females here. Find out a way. Remember I said something. You can tell somebody, go to hell, and the person will fight you. You can say, go to hell, the person will be happy. There are ways to handle it. But if you cut the person off, that person will be the person where go end up buying, let's say, 1 acre, 2 acres, or even connecting you to his friends. It doesn't mean you have to give in. Oh, I am not saying give in, mind you. Do you guys understand me? But with a salesperson, you have to learn how to handle all manners and types of people. At the end of the day, if you give in because you want to give in. Because smaller shower there your eye, you give in. Yes. Now you be that. It's your personal decision. But your job does not require you to give in. Are you all with me? Your job does not require you to give in to any kind of sexual or nonsense thing. No. But whether they will come your way, yes, they will. Whether you will get a lot of people who want to go out of the normal, yes, you will get. Some don't even want sexual, the advances to you are not sexual. Some people are just mental, and I never see those type of sales. They talk with them, they talk, you're chatting or talking, is going on well. Suddenly the person veers off. Sometimes they turn and get mad at you, and you're wondering, what did I do for this person to go gaga on me? But you know that person can afford to buy your products. All these things are going to tell you, mind how you handle such people. Psychology, the sales, 90% of sales happens in your head. The remaining 10% is merely execution. You meet all kinds of crazies. The maniacs, the psychotics, the narcissists. Get people where we say, if you don't praise them, every 3 market days, then go vex. For me, I'll tell you, you will come across all sorts. But how you handle them is up to you. Do not write anybody off. Do not write anybody off for whatever reason. But you handle them appropriately based on what you see. Like I said, we like to think that we are rational beings, but the psychology of sales plays a big part in consumer decision. And this is something you can use to become a better salesperson. That person who has all those, hang-ups, those things that they normally use to sidetrack themselves and try to sidetrack you, learn to cope with it and manage it. And you see, if the person veers off track, follow and come out. Just stay small with them. And as you're there, be bringing the person back. But without being nice. Finally, the person will get used to you. They end up getting used to you once you don't lose your temper. And at the end of the day, you and them will be good. Whenever they are talking with you, they know that there are boundaries. It's not said, but even if they cross the boundary, they know that you will not get upset. That's the way it works. And here we come to the end. So, right now, questions. Anything that was confusing, you can ask now. I'd like to have questions now.